Yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is me again, your brother, your friend, Humanist Stephen, on the show. Yesterday, I told you there's going to be another very, very interesting, intriguing time with one of our father, who we so much have so much respect for. You know, he had been an advocate of justice, equity, and transparency. He did a lot during the time of the what is it called, the fight for OBASEKI re-election. He's not just a guy who is an elderly man, but he has the blood and the power of the youth in him. He was one man who stood by us all through the time of the battle. He fought side by side with the youth, and the entire process became victorious. I'm going to introduce him. I'm going to bring him in to the show right now. He's going to introduce himself to us, and we're going to go ahead to ask him one or two very, very important questions on Edo and the insecurity. Yeah, good afternoon, Obaseki, all the way from America. Welcome to the show. So I'm going to bring him right now. I'm going to bring in our father, Ambassador Matthew Beeki Uwaifo. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Stephen Eramiatoy. I'm happy to be in your program. And like I told you some time ago, I will equally thank you for the job you did during the elections. God bless.
Thank you very much.
My name is Ambassador Matthew Beeki Uwaifo. I live in Tanzania, in East Africa, and I'm the ambassador of the African Bar Association for East Central and Southern Africa. And that makes me to be a supervising ambassador for 14 countries in Africa. Also, yes, 14 countries in Africa, all the way from Ethiopia to South Africa. You know, passing through DRC, Central African Republic, Cameroon, and Kenya, Rwanda, Burundi, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi, Namibia, South Africa, and Mozambique. So I'm also a farmer. I'm a pig farmer here in Tanzania, and I've been able to pass about 5,000 youths, empower them through my farm, teaching them pig farming and putting them to work and empower their society. Also, at my free time, I'm equally a journalist, freelance journalist, and I'm also an investigative journalist, freelance. So I guess that's what I can say about myself. Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. This is a very big and a wonderful portfolio, I would say. And during the election, I watched a lot of your videos. You were very fatigued. You were very direct, and you were very, very brave. Sir, if I may ask, how do you get such a bravery from at your age?
That makes me laugh. But what I must say is this. You see, for a long time, since we were growing up, our generation enjoyed Ogbemudia. We also enjoyed Ali. So we had something to fall back on to be able to say good governance should be like this. When the governor has a passion for his state, the results will be like this, like this, like this. So it was so wonderful to find somebody with the same passion like Ogbemudia and Ali, the same developmental prowess of Ogbemudia and Ali come into the scene in our own lifetime. And when I saw, because I didn't just start supporting OBASEKI, when I was shown what he did, seeing it on internet, I traveled to Nigeria myself. I traveled all the way from East Africa. I took excuse from my job. I went. And I went around Edo State to see those things for myself. And I catalog them, the spaces they have been, whether it's 75% complete, those completed, and so on and so forth. And when I had done that, I started writing on my Facebook page with facts, with figures. But you see, what really challenged me and made me to get involved is this. Edo people from time in our history, we have been very proud people in our history. That is why if you check the whole history till the 18th century, there is no other kingdom in Africa that was mentioned like the Benin Kingdom, Benin Empire at that time, up to Ghana. There was even Bight of Benin, you know. So for one man to now challenge the manhood of all Benin men, to say that he would decide who we vote for, how we vote, and when to vote, when he had taught us all along that one man, one vote, one man, one vote, no godfatherism. And now all of a sudden, the whole table turned. Then I felt I had to get involved. And I did that, let me tell you, my brother, at the risk of my job. For some quarters, I got death threats. I got all kinds of things, but I stood my ground. And I wish to stay here just before we continue. As I'm talking to you, I have never received any penny, any kobo from any politician, living or dead in Nigeria. I stand to be challenged. Whatever I did it out of passion. I did it out of dedication to my people of Edo State. It just happened to be Governor OBASEKI, who is the governor now. If it was Stephen Eriamator, humanist, that was the governor, I will do the same thing. So that is what I want to say. Thank you.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask that question. If you actually got paid, like we were told by some quarters, you just answered that question and that you were never paid a kobo.
Yes, and I've always made it clear in all platforms. And I challenge anyone to, I challenge anybody. That's what I said. I said I have never received any kobo from any politician, living or dead. That include ward chairman, local government chairman, any type of politician. Because I'm self-made. I'm very comfortable. I'm over 60. So what is all this kwekwe money going to do with?
Oh, network again. Africa with bad network. Sister, remember you need to start praying.
Hello, yes.
You need to start doing your prayer.
Yes, okay. In my farm, as I speak with you now, I have over 4,000 pigs. I'm the second biggest pig farmer in Tanzania. Every week, we slaughter 250 pigs at a price of $250 per pig. So what am I looking for? How much are you going to give me to buy my conscience? You know? So I still say it in your platform. Not one kobo was I paid. And not one day did the governor talk to me. You know, that I heard you had never, not one day. And not one day did any government officer talk to me. I did the videos on my own. I spent my own money. I spent my time. At a point, I was working 22 hours per day. Just before the election from September 1st, I was working 20 hours a day because people phoned me from all around the world to ask so many questions. And I was educating them on the situation. All these were done free, you know, pro bono. Pro bono means free of charge, nothing. And if there's anybody out there, please, so you all should hear. If there's any one of you that feel that either in darkness, in daylight, at night, or in his dream, or in any way that he gave me a penny, please challenge me. I'm waiting. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. before we go to Edo State, you have been very critical about President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. Very, very. You've spoken a lot about the illness in the governance tactics of the APC. Can you just give us a little bit light on that?
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me be very frank with you. We are very unfortunate to have the present state of affairs in Nigeria. It pains the heart when you see the amount of illegality and disregard for the rule of law by this present administration. The law they are supposed to defend, they are the breakers of that law. You might not be aware of it, Mr. Stephen Eramato. The present administration, through the Attorney General, Malami Abubakar from Kebbi State, has violated over 60 court orders. Over 60. And yet, he is a legal luminary in Nigeria. He's a son. Let me just give the example of Edo State. A lawyer in Edo State, whose name I won't mention, because I respect and preserve my Edo people. And I don't like anything that will scandalize any Edo man's name. So because of that, I won't name the person. He wrote a letter to the Attorney General that made the Attorney General to order the federal police to raid the House of Assembly in Benin and install 14 legislators whose seats already had been declared vacant. Now, that act alone was not was out of the mandate of the Attorney General. The Attorney General is not the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Nigeria. And if you see the Nigeria police, what do you call them? Nigeria Police Force. It did not say Nigeria Attorney General Force. So he went out of his mandate. That was an illegality. And also, let's go ahead. The 14 legislators committed a treasonable felony under international law and under any law because they were trying to overthrow a constitutionally elected government. I'm talking of law now. There is no emotion here. There is no romanticism here. There is no partiality. I'm saying what the law says. You understand the point? So, so it was a treasonable act and a coup d'etat. Why? Because after 180 days, their seats can be declared vacant. That is the Electoral Act and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the seats were declared vacant, and they themselves went to the High Court in Abuja to challenge that. Why the judgment has not yet been given, then they went to install themselves illegally. Do you see where the illegality is coming from? Now, leave that also. The governor, as the chief security officer of Edo State, does not have any powers over the Nigerian police. So when the Oba Palace was attacked, the governor could not arrest anybody because under law, he has no power to arrest anybody. You see, under the law. Who had the power was the Nigerian police and the federal constituted authority. You see. So when they refused now to arrest the people, even the 14 legislators, to bring them to order, Edo State government went to court. And Justice Igbinoba at the Benin High Court gave an order of mandamus. An order of mandamus means compelling the police to arrest the 14 legislators because according to the Constitution, their act was illegal. Till I am speaking now, they have not been arrested. And that was the federal government that was able to do that, that was supposed to do that. You know, so what am I telling you here? A lot of court orders have been broken, and they've broken a lot of laws. Like, for example, in Nigeria since there was that federal character. But what do you find today? Every security agency in Nigeria is headed by a Northerner. Even your Benin prisons establishment is headed by a Northerner. Haba. And check it. The NNPC, the police, the immigration, the customs, name it. They just put Southerners in places that are periphery. But the real places are reserved for Northerners. Now, to tell you again, another breaking of the law. Zamfara went, the central bank governor went against the Central Bank Act, you know, Section 1, that empowers the central bank to buy movable and immovable property, not property of commercial nature. Now, contrary to the agreement already down, that all the resources, according to the Mineral Act 2007, that all the resources in Nigeria, whether in the sea, whether in the ground, wherever it might be found, belong to the federal government. Now, the gold in Zamfara, the CBN decided to buy the gold in Zamfara for 5 billion naira. And that gold belonged to the federal government, which means as you are sitting there, that gold belonged to you, it belonged to me. Under the present constitution, they cannot start paying, which means all the South states where they have oil, they have to make what? They have to sell to whoever they like, you know? So there is no restructuring yet. So why are they using the 1960 constitution to allow Zamfara to sell the gold, but they can build a pipeline all the way from Port Harcourt to Kaduna, tapping the oil of South? And you even saw they had a meeting on Saturday where the president was supposed to meet them through the chief of staff. They never turned up. So what I'm saying is this: even though last year I voted for Buhari, last year I voted for the APC, I must be frank with you. But when I look at it now, I'm beginning to bite myself and pinch myself. Oh, if I knew then that this is what they were going to do, that they would turn Southerners to second, third-rate citizens in their own country. What stops the federal government from building a railway line from Lagos to Benin? Why are they building a railway line from Lagos to Niger State? And why have they gone to Niger State to go and build a refinery? The president's in-law went and built a refinery in Niger State, and now they are building a railway line. And the money for all these projects, where does it come from? The South. So what I'm telling you, my brother, is that there are so many infringements by this present illegal administration. As far as I'm concerned, right now, I'm telling you the truth from where I sit. Buhari, I no longer see him as president of Nigeria, but as president of Northern Nigeria. He has fragmented the country. He has gone against the laws of the country. Finally, let me tell you, on June 13, the appeals court in Nigeria gave a holistic judgment. They banned Oshomole from suspended Oshomole from parading himself as an APC member, one, and as the chairman of the APC. That was two things coming from his appeal against the judgment by the Abuja High Court, FCT High Court, you know. But after that, instead of the federal government to act, Oshomole was jumping left and right, parading himself as if he was still an APC member, attending and conducting rallies. In civilized society, he was supposed to sit in Inyamo. In civilized society, they broke the law there. They broke the law. And then secondly, according to section 177 and section 271A and 273 of the Nigerian Constitution, Only the Secretary General and the chairman of a party can put forward a candidate for governorship election, presidential election. It is very clear. But you see, the APC, Mai Malambuni of Yobe State, was not the chairman and is not the chairman of the APC. He was the chairman of the caretaker committee of the APC. That does not make him a chairman for the party. And himself and Senator Ododere were the ones that submitted Pastor Ize-Iyamu's name. That is why I was making those videos, to say, according to the Constitution of Nigeria, Pastor Ize-Iyamu is not supposed to be a candidate in that election, because even Section 31 and 153 of the Electoral Act was violated. Why? Because they were desperate. APC was desperate. But Edo people stood up and thwarted their federal might and whatever might they thought they had. So what am I speaking on? I'm speaking on the rule of law. I don't hate Pastor Ize-Iyamu. In fact, I'm very close to the family. But law is law. I know the family. I attended school with so many Ize-Iyamus. They are very wonderful people. Law is law. And as far as I was concerned, I didn't support Ize-Iyamu for the simple reason he should have taken Oshomole to court. When Oshomole was damaging that name, Ize-Iyamu, with so many garbage that Oshomole said, and he never took him to court, which means either Oshomole was telling the truth or something was wrong. Because let me tell you the truth, you can't defame my character to such an extent and I let you go free. You saw what Senator Samuel Otom of Benue State did with Oshomole. Oshomole said that he killed two Reverend Father. He said, okay, he went to court. He went to court and sued Oshomole for 10 billion. And now Oshomole is now begging to say, okay, I will apologize in all the newspapers. It was not you, so that he doesn't pay the money. That is what is supposed to be done, sir. When people defame your character, you have recourse to law. And if only the rule of law in Nigeria can be maintained, if only the rule of law can be obeyed by the government, a lot of all these things going on in Nigeria would not have happened. If we are sure that in Nigeria, the son of a nobody does not need anybody to become somebody, and that no Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian, if we were to follow these simple rules of law, I'm telling you, my brother, our country would have sailed to greater heights. So that those are some of the reasons why I talk against Buhari and why I will continue to talk against him. They should obey the law and stop lying to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. That was a nice one there. Now, let's go over to Edo State. Now, the topic for today was Edo State and the insecurity situation right now. Now, I want us to start from the NSAS protest. The NSAS protest. You know, immediately the NSAS protest took another dimension when the hoodlums, what they call the hoodlums, in quote, you know, took over the entire protest. It took another very, very strong dimension that people will not be set free from the prison and all that. And today, Edo State is experiencing a very, very dramatic, I would say, dramatic, you know, insecurity in the state. What have you to say about the present security situation in Edo State?
First of all, my dear brother, thank you for asking this very vital question. Before I answer you, I must say this, that only the enemy of the people of Edo State and people who don't reason will support what is happening in Edo State right now. It is heart-rending to see children, 18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old, killing themselves on the street. It is heart-rending, very sad. But somebody like me, I'm not folding my arms. I might not be in Edo State, but I can relate to you what is happening from day to day because I have my ear to the ground. I told you I'm an investigative journalist. I have people on the ground. Now, having said that, my dear brother Stephen, people just look at things on the surface. I appeared in one platform and I was trying to explain how these things came about. And somebody said I was putting political coloration about the whole thing. But surprisingly, a few days ago, the same person called me back. He said, Epa, I want to apologize to you. You know, as an elder, you saw very far. We didn't know. Let me tell you, my brother, what has been happening. The NSAS protest, I did a video about it that went viral. All across the board, over 1,278,000 people watched that video. I had never had any of my video had so many numbers. And that was long before the NSAS even started. I was asking people to come out on the street to demonstrate for NSAS in that video. So when the video started, it was very peaceful, very peaceful. And people were saying they had no leaders. And I told people, I said, look here, this thing is well coordinated. Now you were telling us, sir, that they were taken over by hoodlums. Now the question, it begs to ask the question, who are the hoodlums? The Nigerian constitution, sorry, I keep talking about constitution because I follow the law. I told you just now, if the law can only be acted, if the law can only be practiced, we won't have these problems. Section 247 of the Nigerian constitution bans thugism. Bans thugism. There is nothing like hoodlums in the constitution. Now, thugs, who are thugs? These politicians use the thugs during election. And when they cannot pay them what they agree to pay them, the thugs now graduate to become hoodlums. And you see where the hoodlums are coming from?
Yeah.
So they are the political thugs. It comes to hoodlums. Now, when the NSAS protest got to a point, the Nigerian ambassador for peace and social justice in the United Nations, Ambassador Hassan, made a video and said that, if it was under Obasanjo, these protesters will not be on the street. And he was praising Buhari that Buhari should call out the army. Just after that, the Arewa people said, if this thing is to remove Buhari, they are ready to go to war. Then 3 days later, the government, hoodlums, started fighting the NSAS protest. So my brother, what I want to tell you is this. If it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, behaves like a duck, then it's a duck. As far as I'm concerned, all those hoodlums were sponsored by the politicians to disrupt that NSAS protest. But having said that, we come to the Benin situation. 2 people were killed at Airport Road during the tail end of the NSAS protest. Nobody did anything. The hoodlums were not arrested and nothing happened. Then 3 girls were raped. Nothing happened. The people were not arrested. This emboldened them. And if you've been checking my video, the video I made August, September, and on the 16th of September, 3 days before the election, I made it very clear that Benin should prepare themselves down for mayhem, which will be unleashed by the tigers and the lions and whatever shade, people who are not going to accept the result of the outcome of the result. They will unleash mayhem on Edo State. A lot of people were talking nonsense that, oh, you don't know what you are talking about, this. Now, let me tell you, according to my own security and intelligence report, what you see in Edo State was well coordinated. What do I mean? They started by burning down the police stations. And people were telling me that, oh, you are bringing politics into the matter. It happened in all other part of the country. Tell me which other state had their prison broken into and hardcore prisoners freed into society. It was only Edo State. They first of all broke, burned down 10 police stations, stole the arms there, went to Ekiadolo, burned down the custom post, stole the arms. And they went to Oko prison and released the prisoners. I have all the videos and everything, and videos I could not even put on the internet. I didn't put it on the internet because it was too gruesome, you know, and all the acts were there. Okay, after breaking Oko prison, what will happen? The government, the governor of Edo State that time was on holiday. He came back from holiday. He inspected the prisons. Then he, formed a commission of inquiry to look into why all the disturbances. And then after that, the police were demoralized. Do you know, as I speak, that the police were getting death threats from the escapees? The police themselves were tired. Okay, after putting, after putting curfew from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., people were shouting, it is too much, this. After 3 days, everything was calm for 3 days. And after 3 days, on the 25th, Saturday, people went to medical stores and broke it down. And everybody was abusing the government. Yet they forgot that in every country, including Tanzania, I'm speaking from, the United States, UK, people don't eat their seed. They don't eat everything you have. You have to keep some aside in case of an emergency, in case there is a second wave. I'm here in Tanzania now. We are COVID-free, but I cannot cross to Kenya because Kenya, as at yesterday, lost nearly 400 people. COVID second wave is in Kenya. So they raided the medical stores. And in the medical stores, what was there? 7,320 items from a total of 1,119,000, which were distributed by the state government. And the same day, they went to the hoodlums and the thieves now saw the opportunity. And don't forget, a total of 1,993 prisoners were released into the society. So all these people have had guns. And now they went to the custom warehouse in Bini Agbo Road. And in that custom warehouse, the custom did not want to tell us, and I will mention it now on your station. There was a container there containing arms for the customs that was imported into the country for Edo State Customs and other security agencies. The hoodlums broke that container and took all the arms. So the situation we have in Benin right now is that there is a lot of arms in the society. And that is why the governor had called in the army to mop up these arms. That is why he went to go and meet the police who were demoralized and not ready to work, to encourage them and beef up their morale so that they can come back on duty, because we need the police. No matter how you say they are corrupt, we need the police in our society. And the governor also wrote the IGP, and the IGP paid a courtesy call to Benin, you know, to encourage the police. So far, starting from yesterday, you have a curfew brought back 10 o'clock to 6 a.m. And the army has been doing mop-up, I must tell you. And then Sakpamba Road, which was the heart of the killings and everything, has been brought under control as we speak now. So what I must tell you about the security situation is this. Everybody should be calm, because security apparatus has been put in place by the governor. And I'm telling you, after this 1 week, everything should be calm. I will stop so far in case you want to ask some other questions. If not, I would have talked about the cultists. But I think I've talked so long, I don't know how you want to arrange the program. So that's it, my brother.
Okay. Yes, sir. You know, in my program, when you are saying what we need to talk about, I don't stop until I want to stop you. I will just jump in and say, okay, I want to ask a question, because I was really getting a lot of facts and figures from you, which the viewers really want to also hear also. You know, now on the cultist side, the moment the prison break happened, there was a boy called Ekpowa who trended on social media when he came out and said he was going to Edo State. We hear from him. He was a top a guy in the security in the confraternity in Edo State, and he lived in Sapoba area. And after that, they were this rampant killing and all that and that. My question is this: the answers, the hoodlums, the government, the prison break, then immediately there was a cultist war. I want to ask, how did all this comes together? Enter, prison break, cultists, then hoodlums. The next thing you saw was there was a war between Mafite and between the Buccaneers and the Viking and all that and that. How did we get there? How did this whole war came about? Can you please talk about that for us?
What I will tell you simply is this. First of all, courts are not recognized by the Constitution of Nigeria.
But they are registered.
They are not registered. Are they? Because I don't see their names as courtists. They are, you want to tell me they are registered with CAC or registered under the Societal Act as courtists?
No,
did they tell you there that this association is a secret society of court members?
No, they call themselves confraternity.
Yes, confraternity. Let me tell you, you have Ogboni confraternity, you have Amok. It's a confraternity. So you can register a confraternity. But you see, what these people have turned it to is thugism. When we were growing up those days, University of Ife, where Wale Soyinka went to, Wale Soyinka formed the pirates to fight the colonial government that time and make sure we had our independence. And most of the time they were using broken English. That is how broken English took hold in Nigeria. They were using broken English, which the colonial powers could not understand. So pirates, as at the early stage, was formed for the good of Nigeria. But now it became bastardized. You see, you cannot confuse a society of mafiosis with a confraternity. Have you ever heard that Ogboni is killing everybody on the street? Have you ever heard it, sir?
No, sir.
Never. You can never hear that they're killing people, or Amok just came out and they start killing their members on the street. No. What has happened is that a co-fraternity does a lot of good to the society. A lot of good. But our young people have now turned this to mean something else. They brought in occultism, they brought in rituals, and so on and so forth. You understand? So it's completely different. That's why I'm telling you, in the Constitution, show me where they say courts are registered, that maybe A court, B court, write the name like that, not co-fraternity, write the name like that. B court, A court, no. You see, what happened, as far as I'm concerned, sir, is this. Once in a while, even in America, it used to happen. The mafia gangs used to fight themselves. Either there's a betrayer among them, or some have broken the code of honor of that particular group. The person has to be snubbed out. If you go and read Don Corleone, The Godfather, you will see it there. All these things are written there. That's how it used to be. Now, they've imported that into Edo State. And people said, okay, during that period, it just came simultaneously. That is why I am telling you that right now, my dear brother, this thing was coordinated. It was coordinated. The groups that were fighting among themselves, go and check and investigate. Some of those groups, some of their members supported moving Edo forward, and some did not support. Some supported the opposite camp. Some supported the present government within their own sections. So if you add that to the prison break, and to put everything plainly, if you add it to the fact that pre-election time, we were told by a prominent businessman in Benin that he had 3,000 militants on standby, Delta Avengers militants on standby, armed to make sure that Obaseki is not elected governor. If we also take it, the speeches of Oshomole as chairman of the APC, that the APC thugs are his infantry division, which made him a warlord of an invisible army, if you didn't know the law, which is contrary to international law and the Rome Statutes that Nigeria signed to. Now, if you equally take pre-election, where Tony Kabaka was parading the tigers and whatever, the tigers, jaguars, and whatever, who should be in a zoo? Tigers, lions should be in a zoo. But he was parading them to say that they move, and presenting to you the tigers and lions who are ready to do their work. There was a video that ran viral, if you can remember.
Yes, sir.
And yes, and the opposition candidate was saying, yes, I want to tell you people, you go from unit to ward, from ward to local government, from local government to the state. And when you do that, remember, not the elites. The elites cannot do this. Only you people can do this. And you know me, you will be rewarded. So these 3,000 militants, these lions, tigers, and so on, are cultists. The lions, tigers, and so on are cultists. And that's what I'm telling you. They are cultists. Half of them are members of the court. And when the election did not favor them, when they could not cause the mayhem to make the federal government declare a state of emergency and make sure, because when a state of emergency is declared according to law, the governor, sitting governor, ceases to be governor. The government will appoint a committee to run the state and make a temporary governor to run the state as head of that committee. When all that did not work because the international community, they had their eye on Edo State. Remember, Oshomole got a visa ban to UK and to America and some other governors and prominent men in Nigeria. So that made them to sit up. And the president said that he wants a clean and fair election. For the first time, Buhari woke up and said something, because most of the time he's sleeping. That's why things are the way they are. So anyway, like I was saying, you take all these militants, tigers, and so on, they were all armed. Add it to the custom warehouse that was broken. Add it to all the the prisons that were broken and police stations burned down. Tell me anywhere in Nigeria right now that had so many killings like Edo State. Tell me anywhere the prisons were broken into like our state. Maximum security prison, releasing rapers, releasing robbers, and so on and so forth. And you even mentioned the guy just now who said people will see. So the whole thing, that is what I'm telling you. Sakmomba Road was the first place that the army was sent into, because that was the nerve center where the killings were coming from to other areas. So what I'm telling you is this. Your state government right now is on top of the situation. I can tell you, and you can take it to the bank, that the governor, the security apparatus he has put together, the customs themselves are looking for their guns. The DSS, the police, the immigration, the Air Force, the Navy, the Army, the mobile police force, they have all been drafted into this operation. Even the prisons, the guards in the prisons have been drawn into this operation. So what I'm telling you, with the army too, and the curfew for the next 7 days, calmness will return back to Edo State. But now, The main thing of all these disturbances was one, to disrupt the governance of Edo State. There is a third force behind it. And because I am on your program and it's a public program, I will not mention certain security details that I'm aware of. A third force was behind this. The thing was to disrupt Edo State, disrupt Benin City, being the capital of Edo State, give a bad name to the governor, distract his attention from starting to put his team together and prepare to launch his mega agenda, and cause mayhem, so that what they could not achieve before the elections, they can now achieve it. And what was that? The government of Buhari will say, oh, Edo is now governable, there's too much killings there. Moving the federal army, moving the federal forces, and remove the governor and declare a state of emergency, and then what is it called? And then, bring a committee, but remove the governor. That is what the whole thing is about. But I need to say this, my dear brother, without missing words. I'm not a PDP member. I'm not an APC member. I am Edo State. I'm for Edo State, the goodness of Edo State. Every Edolite is my brother. Every Edolite is my sister. I cannot stand aside in my lifetime and see my people, my women being raped, being molested, and see young boys being killed and keep quiet. It will not help us in any way. So what I'm saying in effect here is this. This attack was well coordinated, but they have failed. And why have they failed? Forget that Edo people, most of them are staying in their houses. They are not sleeping. They are sleeping with one eye open. And most of them are calling on their God, calling on the Enikao, calling on the Eniwaise, that to rescue them. Therefore, they have started speaking with one voice, Umagbane Done. And because Umagbane Done, no weapon raised against the people of Benin, no weapon raised against this present administration that want to take us to the next level, we prosper. And that is the truth. You can take it to the bank, my brother. Viewers, whatever I'm said here, you can take it to the bank. And I always say it, I stand to be challenged, because what I'm saying is fact. It is fact, and the government is aware of that. This was a coordinated attack, and there was a lot of non-state actors. Edo State was attacked from within and outside the state. Guns were brought in. But thank God that the government of Governor OBASEKI is now aware of that, and they are taking cool measures to make sure that Edo remains calm. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, sir. We are taking cool measures to make sure that Edo remains calm. That is a very nice way to end that very particular session of the program. Then the next question I'm going to ask, is this. Having seen all the entire insecurity in the state today, what is the way forward?
Well, the way forward is this. I put it in my video. In my video, my last video, I was advising the government, because a similar situation happened here in Tanzania, whereby they were killing a lot of albinos, to make rituals. They said albinos bring a lot of wealth. So they were killing albinos in their large number. And so the government decided to make sure that this stops. And they used a very simple method by involving the people. So I was saying in my last video that yes, OBASEKI went, he boosted the morale of the police. He went and did a state of inquiry. Now he has set up a security apparatus consisting of all security agencies in Edo, brought the army in, and is still, 277 constables have graduated and are inducted as community police people. So that is in the right direction. So the way forward is this. As citizens, we have to do our part. Elections are finished. A bullet does not know. Killings does not know APC, does not know PDP, does not know ADP or AFF or anything. You know, when you throw the stone into the market, you don't know if it can meet your mother in the market. So what we need to do right now is all of those, majority of us should speak with one voice and assist the government. Assist the government by giving them information. But I said this giving of information should be conditional. Conditional in the sense that the government have to do their part by making sure that that they bring forward a safe haven or a safe box where people can drop their information clandestinely, anonymously, without being found out. They should give a phone number where people can call them from and give information without being found out. Because Nigeria does not have a witness protection. That is why somebody left the prisons and went to murder a fellow tenant, that the tenant was a prosecution witness that brought him into prison. That man, I can tell you right now, has since been rearrested through the effort of the security agencies. So what I'm saying, the government need to work with the people by one, bringing about neighborhood watches. There should be neighborhood watches. Section 217 of the Nigerian Constitution, 214, needs to be amended for there to be state police. And federal government knows that. That is why they are making politics with security. Leave that. Neighborhood watch and community police are not in the Constitution. So it doesn't need any amendment. It doesn't need you to wait for the federal government. You can set it up by yourself. And I think the governor, Godwin OBASEKI is aware of this. That is why he formed the community police. Now, just imagine, the community police will be living in your community. You know the police knows you. So anything, any crime happening in your community, the community police will be aware. 277 of them graduated at Ogida Police Grounds, where the governor attended their parade last week on the 16th. They graduated. Okay. Now, those 277 are the part of a force of 2,000. Also, I would recommend every local government should form their own vigilante. Nobody is going to fight for us. Nobody is going to fight for Edo State. Edo State needs you. Do not think what Edo State can do for you at this hour. Think of what you can do for Edo State. You can form neighborhood watches. And those neighborhood watches can go ahead. When you form the neighborhood watches when we were young, we used to have neighborhood watches, you know, and you will know who came into the community, who is doing what in the community, what stranger is there. Because tell me, my brother, these cultists, they don't live in heaven. They don't live in the air. They live in the community, and their board is known. So those are my recommendations. And that is what I would say. Neighborhood watches, community police, get a line where people can report or give information to the police without being seen, without being known. You understand? Where yes, they can report so their safety can be guaranteed. Because even the police have some cultists among them. That's the truth. So if you start reporting, you don't know if you are reporting to a cultist at the counter, who will go and call his brothers and you are dead. So that's why I recommended to the government, and I'm recommending to the government, that they should find a way where they can put a box, people just drop their information, or they can have a telephone line where people can call. Now, secondly, all these things happening, the breaking of the stores and that, Lagos State did it. They can partner with MTN and Glo, and they will be able to tell who visited where, who was where, at such hour. Even the dead bodies, they can make a post-mortem on them and be able to tell what time they were killed. And then MTN can find out who had the phone in that particular spot when they were killed. And the people can be brought in for questioning. So what I'm saying is this: the citizens have to do their part. The local government chairman and what the councillors have to do their part. All of us have to put our hand on the deck. This is not a government matter. Today, they attack your house, my brother, and I'm saying, oh, it's my neighbor. Tomorrow, they are coming for myself. Nobody is safe. So, as you spoke with one voice, majority, all these shenanigans, all these miscreants, and all these home terrorists is what I call them, because they are from our house. And most of them that have been arrested are not Igbo people. They are Beninese. Somebody was telling me, oh, you know, IPOB, Kanu said he will send, there are a lot of guns in it. Forget, Kanu is only claiming victory for what he does not know nothing about. The Igbos in Benin are doing their job. They are going about their business. They are not terrorists. They've not come to kill anybody. So you cannot start poisoning Benin people against Igbo people in Edo. We will not have that tribal fight. No. The truth is this. Check all the tips in the video and everywhere that have been arrested. They will tell you, Oviedo Mahin, we are Benin people. They will tell you. The other one will say, I'm from Delta. I've been watching all the videos. So they are no imported terrorists. That's why I call them home terrorists. So what is going to happen is what I've outlined now. We all need to put our hands on the deck and still speak with the same voice with which we elected the governor. Because all these cultists, all these robbers, they are very few compared to the good people of Edo State. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. My next question is going to be on the line of what actually causes insecurity. You know, in many quarters, they've told me in this show that it is lack of jobs that actually cause insecurity in Edo State. Do you agree to that fact? That because the government has not actually produced so much employment to the teeming, youth in Edo, that has actually created this restiveness among the youth in Edo State?
Let me tell you the truth. And this is my own personal opinion. And whatever I have said in your program today is my personal opinion. It is not the personal opinion of the African Union that I work for, nor is it the personal opinion of the African Bar Association, or the personal opinion of anybody but myself. I must tell you this. A lazy man blames his tools. That's what I'll tell you. Sometimes we start fighting shadows. One, there is no light. What people should fight for first is light. The amount our youth spend in lighting I better pass my neighbor generator is so much. If there was light 24/7, that is one. Number two, they said there are no jobs. What sort of jobs are we talking about? And which government, under the chaotic situation in Nigeria, is it only Edo State that youths don't have jobs? Lagos, there are youths close to 1 million without jobs. Even in the north, there are youths without jobs. Have you ever heard the north burning down their buildings? The buildings that the government spent money to make, or burning down vehicles and all that, and you have to find new money to replace them? The thing is this. This government, through Edo Jobs, is training youths. I have traveled throughout Africa, and I must tell you the truth. Edo State right now is in unique position to be able to change the narrative. Rome was not built in a day. Jobs does not fall from heaven. You have to get the technical skill to be able to do jobs. Most of our youths, they are not technical, and that's the truth. And this government, through Edo Jobs and other things, are making sure that the youths are trained. And through private quarters, I've equally told them, do it in such a way that when an Edo youth is trained as a mechanic on the street, when he graduates, when one is trained as a furniture maker, when one is trained even to cook food, they should have a certificate at the end of their training so that they will be taken as skilled labor and the government can arrange and export them. That is how India is making its money. India exportation of their workers brings in more money to their economy than oil brings to Nigeria. And that is the truth. So what am I saying in effect? The government, you are busy burning police stations, having, what is it called? Breaking law and order. And then there are investors have been making investment conferences, have been promoting Edo State everywhere. And I can tell you for a fact, take it to the bank. Investors are lining up to come to Edo State because, one, Edo Best is now a world standard. If you don't know, even the United Nations wants to copy it. I'm here in Tanzania. We are neighbors with Rwanda. Rwanda sent their education minister to Edo State to come and study the model of Edo Best. And Tanzania right now, as I'm speaking to you, is copying Edo Best. Kenya is copying Edo Best. You understand? So what I'm telling you is this. The government, when he came, the governor promised 2,000 jobs in 4 years. He did not achieve it. That is the truth. I'm not here to tell lies. According to the records in the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, they said the governor was able to produce 157,000 jobs. Now, despite all the disturbances and all the disruptions in the first tenure, he was able to provide that. So I believe that in the second tenure, that he will be able to provide more. But forget it. It is not the government that is supposed to provide jobs. America is America today, not because of the American government. The American government is only a regulatory agency, the one that regulates the trade and makes sure it's done according to law. The real thing that provides job for the society is the private sector. Is the private sector. And you have to make an enabling environment for the private sector to operate. What am I talking about? There are 17 million Nigerians overseas, as migrants, according to the Daily Guardian of October 21, 2018. 17 million Nigerians. Okay. Out of these 17 million Nigerians, if you take into consideration that 70% of the people that were crossing the Mediterranean, passing through the Sahara Desert to Libya and Morocco and crossing the Mediterranean to Europe, 70% of them were Edolites. So if you take that into consideration, do a further breakdown. Out of the 17 million, let's assume 2 million, to put it at the barest minimum, are from Edo State. Now, do a final breakdown too about that 2 million. Let's assume only 400,000 are willing to come back home or send money home for investment and employ only 4 people. That's 400,000. You are talking of 1.6 million new jobs that will be created. That will far, far surpass the government. Now, if we have a steady light, like Osiomo now is lighting the Ogbe Stadium, and is lighting the Secretariat, and is going to light the street lights by the grace of God. Once the program of the governor finished for providing light, we have an explosion. I'm telling all Edolites, and I've been saying to Edolites in the diaspora, the time to invest at home is now. Let's provide the jobs. The highest the government can give jobs is not more than 200,000 in a 4-year program. But if we love our state, as I've given you the statistics now, and we are ready to invest in our state without fear, I am telling you the story will change. And that is why when I was preaching through my videos, attending so many platforms, talking to so many people in the diaspora, and even other nationalities, Indians, Lebanese, Americans, have gone that far, Switzerland, France, and so on, telling them, come and invest in Edo State. They say, Nigeria is a funny story. I say, look, Edo State is not Nigeria. Edo State is a part of Nigeria. And there are enabling environment. And I will say, for example, to be able to register your business in Edo State now is something that takes roughly 48 hours, and you have your certificate. When I wanted to register my business in 2015, I had to register it in Abuja, and I know what it took me. I had to go to Abuja, fight, and a lot of, money change hands before I could get it. But now you don't have to bribe. That's one. Two, this government, through the laws on CDA, has now reassured the international community that they can have land and be able to get CFO for the land. We can lease our land, not sell it outright, but lease it, and then get CFO. Now the CFO is taking 90 days for only 50,000. For only 50,000. And then during the time of Oshomole, when I wanted to build a house in Benin, it took me 18 months to get my CFO, and I spent 1.5 million, which was enough to lay the foundation of the house. And despite that, when I wanted to start the house, people came to take the shovels and everything of the people working for me, and said that, hey, look here, my friend, you have to pay for foundation, you have to pay when you are setting the house, you have to pay for the roof of the house, and so on and so forth. So all those are now bygone stories. So what I'm saying, my dear brother, is this. When you point one hand at anybody, four hands point at you. All Edolites, I am telling you people, if street lights can be in Benin Kingdom as late ago as over 600, 800 years ago, if we started in Benin having street light before France, before Belgium, before Portugal, there were street lights in Benin on Akpakpava Street that the Europeans wrote about. If as Edo State, we were the first to produce the first graduate in Nigeria, if as Edo State, we were the first to produce an ambassador to the courts of Europe in Portugal, the son of Esige was an ambassador in Portugal. If our forefathers could do that, what is stopping us now at the age of the internet, where at the click of a button, you have all the information at your fingertips? What is stopping us from building our state, from supporting the government in power to make sure that these investors come and join us to produce jobs for our people? And I'm telling you, they are lining up. If not all these disturbances now, they would have been lining up to come to Benin. But these disturbances have stopped, but have stopped them a little bit. But what I'm saying is this, to all Edolites in the diaspora listening to this program, and to people at home, the only thing to fear is fear itself. America was bombed by Osama bin Laden, Twin Towers. It fell down, but they still continued with their life. Jobs continued, daily life continued. These killings and these Scottish fight that just finished, and breaking of prisons and all that, is a phase. Benin will come back to calmness. Benin will come back to what it is, my dear brother. And Edo State should be the #1 state in the next 15 years to settle in. That is what we are looking for. There are so many programs. If you doubt me, please read the Making Edo Great Again manifesto. Go and read it. I read it line by line, paragraph by paragraph. That is why I'm able to talk to investors to come to Edo State with facts and figures and with examples. My people, before we start blaming a government that just took power, not even up to 3 weeks, jobs don't fall from heaven. All the local people, all the people that are not civil servants, I'm saying, join the government. There should be a partnership between the government and the private sector. Government and private partnership is what will give us jobs in Edo State. Personally, I'm not just talking. COVID-19 epidemic is what is keeping me still overseas. If not, I would have come home since. I want to empower my youth, Edo people. I'm doing here in Tanzania. I can shout it anywhere because it is a fact. I've empowered over 6,000 youths in Tanzania over roughly in the past 4 years. If I come and do the same in Edo State, we'll be heading somewhere. So I'm not depending on the government to say until the government give me this, give me that, I will not do it. No, the government's duty is to provide an enabling environment. And our duty as investors, because when you're an investor, you are looking for profit. I'm not coming to invest in Edo State. I'm not Father Christmas. I need profit. So I will work professionally, but I will also train the youth professionally so that instead of giving them fish, I can teach them how to fish. So if all of us can join together, I believe that this lack of jobs will be a thing of the past. Finally, we equally have to tell ourselves how to be faithful. You know, business is not about employing your brother, about employing your cousin. No, because most of the time, when you employ family, they disappoint you. So business is knowing how to do the business in the area that you are gifted for. Habakkuk 2, chapter 2, he said, write down the vision. So that those who will read it will run with it. He said, if the vision delays, do not worry, for it is set for an appointed time. A lot of people just talk about, we want to invest in Edo State, we'll create jobs. They say it verbally. You should be able to sit down and draw up a plan. That is what Proverbs 19 tells me, verse 1. It says, draw up your plan, then present your plan to God. And the God that is the owner of all things, in Psalm 24, verse 1, the earth is the Lord, and the fullness thereof, and all those that dwell therein. We all belong to the Lord. And Haggai 2, chapter 9, tells us, all the silver and gold are mine, says the Lord. So draw up your plan, write it down. You will find out that out of 100%, only 3% write down their plans. Write your plans. Like myself, the business I'm doing in Tanzania, I'm on salary. I divorced myself from the business. But here you are, you open a business. You want to buy fuel from the car, the Ego Reveva, just bring some money there. You want to eat, the Ego Reveva. You want to drink beer, the Ego Reveva. After a year, your business collapsed. You say, oh, OBASEKI, he said we should come home. We brought our money. Now, all the money, the business did not work. They stole my money. You forget that your stomach, where you are Mr. Pregnancy, a lot of your money is inside your stomach. You ate it yourself. We should learn to make sacrifice and work professionally and do our things professionally according to laid down international rules, and we will succeed. Thank you, my brother, for listening to me.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I have 2 questions more for you. I will let you go.
Now, wow. Okay.
Okay, my brother. You know, my show is always like that. You know, now the first question to ask, you talk about us coming home to come and invest. Now, based on the insecurity nature and the way and manner businesses are being run in Nigeria, what is the security that our investment won't go down the drain?
Well, I think maybe you didn't listen to what I was saying in that speech, which I consider to be very long. First of all, I will give you this example. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. What was it about? Blacks were being shot in America. You sit in your car, they shoot you. You sit in your car, you want to bring out your driving license, they shoot you because of the skin, the color of your skin. Did that stop investors from going to America? Did that stop the New York Stock Exchange from functioning? Leave that one. In New Zealand, a terrorist killed over 50 Muslims, and Auckland was turned into a bloody city. Did that stop investments? South Africa, every day, every minute, somebody is killed in South Africa, and a lady is raped in South Africa every day. Did that stop investors from going to South Africa? So what I am telling you, this is this. And that is why I told you, write your plan. And when you have written your plan, present it to God not man. Because the Bible says, woe unto the man that put his trust in another man. Maybe I'm talking because I'm a Christian. Everything I've done, I do it from the perspective of the Bible. What does it say about it? Because that's my guiding light. And that is the same example I'm giving to everybody. Because if you have God on your side, nothing will make you not to succeed. Now, after you've written down your plan, don't forget, you are not the only one coming to Edo State to say you want to invest. But first of all, have faith in your ability. Have faith in yourself. Why should you be afraid that, oh, they are having disturbances? As we speak now, are people not in Bini? It's not 10 o'clock yet in Edo. Some people are still in the beer parlor drinking beer. Some people are walking in the street. Forget what you read in the press. I said the governor is doing everything in his power by creating a security apparatus to make sure that the place is calm. Right now, there's COVID-19. You are in Europe or somewhere. There's COVID-19. You cannot even travel. During this time, you are at home. Why don't you write your plans down and go over it again and again and plan it in your heart? Because as a man thinketh, so the Bible says, so is he. If you are thinking of failure, if you are thinking of fear, oh, this one, hey, security, okay, security, the place will be calm now. Oh, you know, there are so many 419 boys. There are so many Yahoo boys. Hey, what is your business with Yahoo boys? What is your business? If you are serious about what you want to do, you already know they are Yahoo boys. And let me give you one example of that. Job chapter 12 clearly tells us what made Job to lose all his money. And you know what that was? Job said, the thing I feared the most has happened. And that fear is what brought the devil, gave him a chance to enter and tell God that Job should be tempted. Because the devil knew Job was afraid. And like President Roosevelt of America said, during the Great Depression in 1933, the American Great Depression, they went into a recession that lasted for over 7 years and brought the great social payments they have in America now. He said, the only thing to fear is fear itself. The only thing to do what? Fear. Yeah. Is fear itself. So if you are coming to invest, are you the first that invested and failed? In fact, when you fail in life, you should be very grateful to God, because that means you have gone through the experience of life. Life is teaching you that you can try again and succeed. I always like failing in some things, because there I will be able to learn why I failed and next time do it better. So in my books, there is nothing like failure. And then fear, my brother, fear brings cancer, it brings all sorts of things. Cast fear aside. Put your daily life and put your things in the hands of God, and you will succeed. And then you must be as astute as the Chinese, as intelligent and technology conscious as the Americans, and as conservative with your funds as an Englishman. So if you combine those three, my brother, there is no way you cannot succeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that. The last question. Now, right now in Edo State, I have anchored about 2 programs right now on communal clashes over land issues in Edo State. And as I right now have about 3 or 4 other communities calling me now to also come online and have an interview on these communal clashes over land grabbing. You know, as a man who has traveled wide and near, what will you have to say about the way and manner the Benin in particular fights over land and all that? Even despite there's no CDS again, but there is still yet war between one community and the other over land issues. What is your advice to our community leaders and the youth of these communities?
Okay. My advice simply is this. There is no country that people don't fight over land. An example is Kenya. If I tell you what goes on in Kenya, what goes on in Djibouti, in Somalia, in Ethiopia, over land, you will be shocked. Our people fight, but thank God that we have not reached the situation whereby somebody will just come, round up the whole community and wipe out virtually everybody there because they want to take the land, like what was nearly about to be introduced in Plateau State and Benue State. Having said that, sir, I think the fight over land in Edo State is as a result of ignorance. And the Bible says, my people perish for lack of understanding. And lack of understanding is what? Ignorance. Why am I saying this? There is a CDA law passed by the House of Assembly in which it does not only prescribe punishment, it also prescribes what should happen in case there are disputes concerning land or concerning land, whether of the community or of the ordinary people. Now, what stops the Odionwere of that community or the Enoge of that community? Seeing that the CDA has now taken root, it is supported by His Royal Highness Uku Apolokpolo Ogienomamogun, the FY Ogidigan II of Benin. He introduced it with the governor, and it is functioning. Why don't they report to the CDA to intervene? That would be a step. Why don't? Because the laws are already there. If they report to the CDA, an investigation will be made. The different Odionweres will be called for a hearing, and the matter will be settled judiciously. And the CDA is so powerful, they can go there, check the land, and be able to tell using the GIS mapping and using the different government agencies to be able to say who has what. But you see, the miscreants, the people who have been benefiting from selling one land to 20 diasporans, they are the people causing this confusion, because the money and the flow of funds for their own belly infrastructure and for making gabu with so many girlfriends have ceased. So that is why they are fighting. So the way to go, in my own view, is if there is a disagreement, instead of being hot-blooded about it, the community Odionwe and the community representatives will present a petition to the CDA. They have an office in Benin. Or you can go to the government house and lay your complaint and say it is a matter of urgency. I'm sure the state government will be able to intervene. That aside, don't you know that there are mechanisms in the Oba Palace vested in the traditional council to be able to settle land disagreements in Benin? It is called a customary court. There's a customary traditional court in the Oba's Palace that decides everything concerning Edo of the Benin extraction. They can go there, take their case to the Oba's Palace. There was a time I had a problem. I bought a land. It was sold to 7 other people. And to be frank with you, that time I was younger. The general was, it was with a general and his people. I went to the Oba Palace under our father gone to Ebonagwa, Oba Ediawa. And we stated our case and everything. And the man came to the palace. He put his hand somewhere to swear. They told him, look, you don't swear here and tell lies. So he thought he was a big man, so he can tell lies. So he told all the lies, and I just told my case the way it was. And what will happen? The man left the Oba Palace, collapsed at the gate, and died because he lied. So the land was given back to me. So what I'm telling you is this. We have mechanism in our tradition to settle cases like that. But people are not interested in following the law. They are not interested in even respecting the ancestors, respecting the traditional institutions in Edo State. They are not ready. They are in so much haste. All they care about is themselves. They are so egoistical. They are so full of themselves, bloated egos. And most of them are narcissists. And what is a narcissist? Is that man who you will advise, show him the correct way to go, and he will think that he knows everything by himself, and that only himself is the most intelligent man in the community. Even me talking here, I have a lot to learn. I can learn from a child. You can even learn from the ants, how they keep food during dry season. When the rain is falling, they are in the ground eating their food. And that was what the palliatives was about. Do you understand that they found the medical road? You keep something for the rainy day. You don't eat everything. You don't eat the seed. Like you want to plant corn, you eat all the corn. Forgetting that when you put just a cup of corn on the ground, you can harvest a whole bag when they harvest. So it's the same thing I'm using to preach to investors overseas to come to Edo State, that they should come. They are planters. And as far as the Edo State government provide the enabling environment, which I am very sure is on the ground already, they can make profit. Every investment is for a profit. Don't go to Benin and say you want to invest and you are Father Christmas, giving out money, doling money. You want to invest, the first thing, you bring 10 million, you buy a Jeep of 8 million and say you are an investor. No investor, a European investor, will do that. In fact, when you come with 10 million, you should look for even an abandoned 2K or an old Mercedes-Benz for 300,000, a pickup. In fact, you should buy a pickup first to move around. This is not about show. This is not about showing the girls, hey, the slave queens, we have arrived. No, it's investment. You put it down, you nurse it, you work it, and with time, you will reap it. So that's what I can tell you about that community fight. Let them go to the appropriate quarters. There are laws in the book. Let them go report it, either at the traditional council or go to the CDA committee to report such cases. And I'm sure the right party, the right community will get justice done in their favor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I need to leave you. People are really saying, don't let him go yet. I said, no. Papa needs to go right now. He needs to go and have some time, to rest. We're going to bring it back another time. So we don't take all the dose once. Okay, guys? So we need to allow him to go and rest because if we don't allow him to go now, the assistant in should stay. I beg you now, make it go rest. Okay? He's going to come back again some other time. I'm going to have another program with him. He's going to come back. He's a father that is always ready to give us what he knows. And he ended by saying, based on what is happening today among communities, which is one thing that is actually getting a lot of people scared because they'll be calling me all over the world, is please, if you have a case in your community, go to the palace. Just do what Papa did when the military man, because it was a Sodiama effect, he can be able to intimidate him. But the customary traditional law took its course on him. I think that is one thing we need to start doing now. Take your case to every appropriate quarter, put it before them, so that we can be able to have peace around Edo State. If you're coming to invest, Papa said, do not buy a car of 8 million from 10 million. He said, buy a 2K, or even possible, buy a pickup. So don't buy 8 million car and I'll be running around for slave queens. Okay, guys. So at the end of the day, you have not come to invest. You only just came to show off. Said investment is not showing off. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate your time today. It's a wonderful time you being with us, and we hope to see you again in a very, very short period of time as we go on to see how we can collaborate to make Edo State great again. Your final word for your people before you go, sir.
My final word is this, my people. God has blessed Edo State in such a unique way. Our land is so fertile. There are so many resources in Edo State. That is why we are the heartbeat of the nation. That is why everybody wants a piece of Edo State. Ododuwa, they want a bit of Edo State because we are uniquely made. And there is no society with a written down history and traditions like Edo State. All the other societies, you start hearing of them from the 15th century. But Edo State, we have lived. We've had our own system of government. We've had our own democratic system for over close to 2,000 years. So what I'm telling people is this: come home and invest. Cast away fear, for fear kills. Fear causes cancer. Fear causes high blood pressure. Come home. We have no other home. Edo State is our home, and we should be proud of Edo State. Thank you all. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We appreciate you for coming in. Hope to see you next time again. Have a blessed night, sir.
Thank you. God bless you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good night. Yeah.
So, guys, this is really wonderful time with our father, Ambassador Matthew Beeki Uwaifo, who actually came all out to make everything as easy as possible for us. So, guys, when you're coming home to invest, you have to leave whatsoever level of enjoyment aside. Focus on what you intend doing, get the best out of it, and remember you are coming to invest to make profit. To make profit. Okay? Thank you, guys. On Wednesday, I'm going to be live with the historian again, 7 p.m. Wednesday. I'm going to be live with the historian, and they will be having a very cool time, you know, talking about the history of the Benin Kingdom. So, okay, all through the week, it's going to be show. Okay, guys, see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for today. Have a blessed day. Bye.